everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today what we are going to be going over is the 2020 presidential election if Mike Pence were to be the Republican nominee, if President Trump would either drop out of the race or he something tragic were to happen. This is an alternative scenario if Mike Pence were to be the Republican nominee with his running mate Nikki Haley. So in this map, I think that Mike Pence definitely would provide his own advantages and disadvantages. I could see him definitely pulling out more white workers, more evangelicals, in a way that Donald Trump cannot. However, I definitely can see him not appealing to Latinos and black voters all across this country, especially, people of color are not going to go for Mike Pence. He has limited appeal. So looking at the safe states, I think that, the West, of course, would be safe. New Mexico would probably be safe, along with potentially the state of Colorado. I generally don't see him having any appeal to the state of Colorado, except for potentially the Mormon population here. But even with that, that's a stretch. I think the typical states would go for, not Bernie Sanders, for Joe Biden. However, there is an alternative scenario video, which is also going to go up, talking about if Bernie Sanders were to be the nominee. I think in the state of Nevada, it would be a likely margin for Joe Biden. And now we're going to go over the safe states for Mike Pence. I think the state of Montana would be safe, along with the state of Kansas, along with most of Nebraska. I could see Missouri still being a likely state. Mississippi could be likely as well. Along with Louisiana, I think that they're heavy black population here, especially after, with a likely, I don't know how to phrase this, with a heavy hurricane season to come, especially with Hurricane Laura that just decimated western Louisiana. They definitely are going to turn out in droves that they probably have not before. I think he could also keep Indiana safe. I don't think that necessarily being a vice presidential pick would help him out too much in this state, but with him being the Republican nominee, I think that he definitely could turn out more voters in the state of Indiana and put it into a safe margin for the Republicans. I also think that he could help the state of Alaska turn more Republican. I think it could be a safe margin at the end of the day. When it comes to Maine's 2nd congressional district, I think it would be likely for Mike Pence. I think that he definitely has more of an appeal to the white working class voters here than Joe Biden does. However, Maine's 1st, I could see it being, safe. So Maine at large would be tilt Democrat. Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, again, another very difficult thing to predict, but I think Nebraska's 2nd could be also tilt Republican. I don't see him having, Joe Biden at least having too much of an appeal to the voters here. The state of Utah, I think, could be safe for Mike Pence. I forgot to characterize that earlier. My apologies. But I don't... Mike Pence is definitely one to appeal to the evangelical base. I can definitely see him turning out people, the heavily Mormon and Christian population of the state of Utah, and winning over the Evan McMullin vote back in 2016 and turn that over to the Republican column. However, there are many states that I think Mike Pence could do well and not do well. So I think, so the state of Florida, I think, would be lean for Joe Biden. I also think the state of Michigan would be lean for Joe Biden, along with New Hampshire. New Hampshire's just being a little cut down through the margin, just generally because I think that Mike Pence would outperform with white voters. I think the state of Virginia would be likely. Forgot to characterize that earlier. Minnesota could be lean as well. It's a state that I definitely think could get more competitive. I think the states of Iowa and Ohio could be lean for Mike Pence. I don't know why I keep trying to say Trump. It's just stuck in my head. However, I do see Mike Pence and Nikki Haley flipping the states, or keeping the states at least, of Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. I think that their Midwestern appeal could definitely help them out and keep these states in their column. However, when it comes to the rest of these states, I don't see him having too much of an appeal. I think the state of Arizona will be lean Democratic. I think he doesn't appeal to the Latino voters in here that Joe Biden does. I think that the state of North Carolina could definitely get closer. And along with the state of Georgia, I mean, these states really haven't gone for a Democrat in a very long time, and they could definitely go towards Joe Biden. Now, the final state, the state of Texas, with its 38 electoral votes, I think it's going to be very close. However, in the end of the day, I think it's going to retain its Republican identity. I can see it easily becoming the closest state of the night. So this is my general prediction. If Mike Pence were to be the nominee with his running mate Nikki Haley, they would have 219 electoral votes to Joe Biden's and Kamala Harris's 319. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and thank you.